Oh my gosh, I have been waiting for this. Since I saw it come out, I knew I wanted to give this a try. And big thank you to We Are Makers American Crafts for sending the new glue squeeze to me. They were so generous because with this release, not only did they just release the glue squeeze, you can get the refill. Tubes as well. But they also gave me the new dot setter to try out also. I'm really thrilled about that. I was not expecting that at all. But one of the things that I really wanted to try the glue squeeze out with is my 3D glue gel. So, for folks who watch my channel, you know that I love this glue. It's actually called 3D Decoupage Glue by Kalal. I stocked up on it. So after Craft Stash closed down, I stocked up at Crafter's Companion, so I've got quite a little stash of this. Not sure where else you can get it at the moment because I haven't really been looking, but it's hard to find in the U.S. In fact, I haven't been able to find a U.S. retailer of it at all. But one of the things I really like about this glue is that it is it's very thick and it holds its dimension. So really great for when you just need like a little bit of lift for an element. Say for example, this little cute little pup might be a little bit hard to get, little bits of foam behind the ears, behind the tail, but you definitely want those areas secured down. And so it's a lot easier to just put a little bit of glue behind there. So I am gonna give this a try. This is my first look at the We Are Makers glue squeeze. And I'll show you what I'm using now in case you're not familiar. It's just a kind of an inexpensive glue dispenser that I found on Amazon, and it is working pretty okay. But when I saw this, I thought this would be even better because if it works out well for folks out there who may be in the market for a glue dispenser, it's quite possible because there's different syringes with different size tips. It's quite possible that this one product could replace this, my glue press, as well as the one that I'm currently using for my 3D glue gel. So that will be part of today's test as well. Okay, so just getting into all of this, we've got our 3 syringes. We have the glue press itself. Now I'll tell you one of the things, and I'm not sure how this actually resolves it, but let me show you what I have been using. So I have 2 of these because I really like my 3D glue gel. So but they both work basically the exact same. And it's pretty similar. So as you can see, there's a tube with a tip, a syringe. The thing is that when you push this, you push the trigger, and then it advances this part, which pushes this down and the glue out. Now, what happens is, see that white cap? That's silicone, so that the glue doesn't, adhere to it permanently. And the thing is that by the time this black piece here pushes that cap all the way to the bottom, when you pull this black part out, that's how you're able to kind of take this out and refill it. That silicone cap doesn't come with it. And so I kind of have to I don't know how you're supposed to do it, but I've just got this. This is just like a paper clip that I straightened out, and I have to kind of poke this through and then push that white cap back out the other end in order to refill this. It's a little bit, I feel it's a little bit of a hack. I'm not sure if there's a better method. If you know, let me know. But it's not like that came with any additional tools. So I'm really, really curious to know. Oh, right here, I can see that they've already figured that out. Oh, dang, this is awesome. This is screwed in. So when you pull this out, it will take that silicone cap out with it. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, 2 thumbs up already. Love it. Okay, so then there are 3 different size tips. And, oh, that is a very, very, very fine tip. Okay, so if you look at this, I mean, look at how fine of a tip that is. And that's the smallest. This one's the next smallest. And then we have that. It's a pretty big jump between that one and this one. So, I kind of wish there was something a little bit in between those two, to be honest, because that feels like that's a big jump between them. So let me see how that actually compares with the tip on this. So this doesn't even have like a tip. It just comes out of the plastic tube. It's hard to really tell. Maybe that's about the same size. I'm not sure. I can't really tell like what. Hold on. Maybe I'll just. So it's about that big. I think that's smaller. I think that's smaller than the largest, but it is bigger than this. Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm not sure which size tube to try. I need something in between these two. And I think the refills are the exact same sizes. Oh my. Okay, dilemma. That's my first dilemma because I want to try the 3D glue one first. And this just seems really big. This seems too small. This one I want to try with Barely Art glue. Let's see how would I compare the tips? Wow, this is okay. So if I compare, I feel like these are probably about the same, although this might be even smaller, which is kind of good because I'm kind of curious to know if this will work with Lineco pH neutral. Another really great glue that I love working with, but it's a little bit looser. I think it's got a slightly higher water content than Barely Art. And so in the glue press, because you store that upside down, it does tend to run. Okay, so I don't know. I've got a little bit of a dilemma as to which one of these tubes to use for my 3D glue gel. I'm inclined to try it in this one. But I know it'll work on the bigger one, I'm sure of it. Directions are really simple. I won't even turn the camera off for it. So, you have the instructions here. Basically, brilliant. You just screw the syringe. Once you've filled the syringe, you screw it onto the tip here. And then Okay, so here we can actually do, oh gosh. Okay, let's just try the big one. I'll just do this here. So you go ahead and screw this on, righty tighty, right? Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Which way does it go? If I follow this, it's okay. This might be the hardest part of the whole thing, is figuring out which way. Okay, so turn this. I do feel like that's reverse of what I did, but go one way, go the other way until it comes out. Okay, so we pulled this out. That was just so that we can get this out. But make sure it's nice and tight, because when you put it back in, you want to be able to get it back out. There's a lever back here. They call it the rod release. So basically that lets you, if you push this down, it lets you actually pull this freely. Otherwise you can't pull it. It's locked in. So this unlocks it so that you can actually move it. And then as you push the trigger, it advances that, and that's what's going to push your glue out. So for now, we want to pull that back, and then we go ahead and fill the tube with glue. So I'll just put the cap on. I'm just gonna go ahead and new bottle, new tube of 3D glue gel. So this, you use the there's a sharp little pointy thing on the inside of the cap. You just push that in, and that pierces that. And I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit in. And there's no way to really get this totally filled, because what happens is it's very thick, and inevitably it's just going to do that in your tube, which is totally fine. All that air is going to get pushed out eventually. So if you have a more liquidy glue, it's not going to look like that. Next, what you want to do is insert the syringe tabs into the slot. So you want to, I think, bring this all the way back. Okay, insert the, so this should go in here like that, and then I think we have to rotate to lock it in. Oh, nice. So you rotate, and that locks it in place. Okay, so now we can squeeze the trigger. See how every time I squeeze, it advances the rod? So now there's like a lot of air there. So I have to kind of give it a chance to let the air out. All right, so a couple more. Okay. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's coming out nicely. This is nice. You have a little thing. Did you guys see that? There's like a little nub here. You can put that there so that it keeps that out of the way. And then, oh, look at that. That's so nice. That is cool beans. I love it. I love it. That's cool. Now, once this is in here though, you kind of have to use all of this before you can switch this out, as far as I can tell, if it's like anything like my other one. Because the thing with this is that it that this rod in here, I mean, it's in there, and you could pull this back. Though you can't take this out because now the rod is sort of in there. Like, could I take it out? Let me see. So if I rotate this, yeah, it's kind of suctioned in pretty good. So I don't know that you can really switch the tubes out midway. So maybe I can read something into that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this for, that's why I didn't want to put too much in. So I'm gonna use this, and it won't take me too long to get through that, but it may take like a couple of weeks maybe. And then what I'll do is try out Barely Art glue in one of these, and I want to also try Line Coat pH Neutral in one of these as well, just to see how thin of a glue, because Barely Art glue has a pretty low water content. That's one of the things that makes it really great and why you don't need much of it. But it is nice to just see other viscosity glues and how well they work in these tips, especially since they are smaller. So cool. All right. So what I want to do is, so far I really like it. It's super easy to use. I love the fact that the rod screws into that cap, because that's the problem I have with my current gun. So I was really curious to see how they address that problem and if I was going to have the same problem with this one. And they did fantastic. Love that. All right, let's take a look at the We Are Makers dot setter. So this is pretty cool. I've seen a little bit about this. So I did see some reels posted. I saw the announcement, and it looks kind of neat. It actually lets you apply foam dot really, really easily. I love the case. It's beautiful. Oh, look at that. Okay, so that can slide. So we've got 11 millimeter, 8 millimeter, and 6. And we have foam dot included. Let's see what happens here. Okay. All right. So this is very familiar. I think I have other adhesives that, oh, this is a lot. Look at this. That's a lot. 275 foam dots. That's a lot of foam dots. That's amazing. Pretty generous, because I thought it was mostly the tool, but you get the foam dots also. Okay, and then let's see how simple this is. So here's my first look at the dot setter, and what do we do here? Okay, so I love the picture guide. Okay, we have our tools. Press the open end of the dot setter onto a foam dot to lift it from the sheet. Align and press onto project. As the tools lift, the top liner peels off too. No way. Press the button. No way. Okay. If this is... Okay, let's just see. Okay, so let's just see what's... Okay, so this is the smallest. 6 millimeters. So that's going to be these ones here. That's the open end. And you're supposed to just be able to go like this, and it'll take it off of the sheet, which it did. And then I should be able to place this onto my project, and as I lift, oh, it did take the liner off. Oh, no way. Okay. And then I can just, it says just push this. Oh, to eject. It ejected it. It flung. It went, it flung out. I don't even know where it went. Oh, dang, that's so cool. Hold on. I gotta do that again. Let me do a bigger one. Okay. Will this fit? Yeah. Okay, took it off the sheet. Press it down. I mean, you do. This is good adhesive, and it's whatever is gripping it. It's got a good grip on it. You really do need to hold down firm. And it did look. There's the liner. Oh, that's so cool. Size number 3. Wow, look how fast you can go. This is so cool. Okay, I'm loving this. This is the coolest thing ever. This is a really big container for just this. I mean, I guess like if you bought a lot of these foam dots, you could do something like that. But that's pretty darn awesome. Okay, I did not know that I needed this tool in my life, but boy, am I glad I have it, because that's pretty cool. Now I gotta go find where that small one flung off to, because I just went like this, and it just flew. It just flew away. And I do like that that they've got this really lovely tin, so you can keep everything stored in there. So I feel like it's larger than what it really needs to be. I think they could have maybe done that size, no, because that's a lot of foam. But I do have some of this myself, so I'll just fill the other portion there. But this is aces in my book. I'm really happy with this new release. I think this is going to be pretty awesome. It's going to give me a few weeks to work my way through this, and then when I fill with, I'm thinking Barely Art will go into one of these, and then Line Co will go into the other. But it's going to take me a while because I have to go through them like one at a time, basically. And so that's the only thing that, I don't even know that there would be a way to do it, but it would be totally cool if there was a way to have these be swappable midway through. That would be really cool, because then you would just need the one glue device, and you could just swap the syringes. But that might just be technology that just with this configuration, just not possible. But yeah, check back. I'm gonna keep giving you my progress on how I'm liking both of these. I gotta say, I'm already loving this. I didn't really think that I would need this, and I was very surprised to even receive it. So this was a really, really lovely surprise, and boy, am I glad I have this in my life now, because that was really fun, but also I can totally see being very useful, and that's gonna really speed things up. Because look, I do have these are pretty standard, so if you were curious about are these super specific sizes, this is the brand. I think I got mine from Hobby Lobby, and I can do a little test for you. But you can kind of see from the sheet, it's like it's the exact same. I've seen this at Michael's too. So here, I'll do, and I'll be honest, like I include some of these in the kit. Oh, these aren't as sticky. Mine aren't as sticky. Okay, so mine are pretty old for one. So here's what I think you will want to do. Just go ahead and push the trigger, and then you're gonna have to lift that yourself. Let's do a test on this is like super years old. I should really use that up. These are a little bit newer that I purchased. And so let's just check on this. I'm running out of space on my puppy. Okay, peels off just okay there. Oh, look at that. This isn't as sticky either. Okay, so I have to tell you, oh, I'm glad I pulled that out. The ones that come with the We Are Makers dot setter, this adhesive is strong. The ones that I got, one of these sets was Hobby Lobby, and then the other set is from Michael's. And see how it's not grabbing onto the paper? Whereas when I put, oh, look at that. Look how strong that glue is. When I put the ones from We Are Makers down, that was strong. And it needs to be super strong because there's whatever is grabbing it out of here, there's a little bit of a grab to it. And so the adhesive needs to be strong in order for it to stay onto here. And so if you do my little trick of like depressing it like this, that will push it into and release whatever's grabbing it. But then, your liner will go with it. And so you'll still have to peel off your liner. Well, that's an interesting discovery. So well done, We Are Makers on both fronts, because that means that their tool is pretty awesome and their adhesive is really good, because that means the glue on here is really strong as compared to like this. You find this configuration in a lot of different, because see how this is also 275 pieces. It's the exact same configuration. I thought it was all the exact same, but they're not all made equal, because the adhesive on these ones, and like I said, one set's from Hobby Lobby, years old. The other set's from Michael's, which is a little bit more recent. So, but they're different quality. So that's interesting to note. Let me just try another size. No, I'm running out of room on my dog though. But I just am very, very curious. So let's try. Now I don't want to mix up the two in this tin. Okay, so peel that off. Okay, and I don't have room on here. Let's put it onto this packaging. I'll put it onto the more grabby part, because this is glossy, which is not fair. So put it onto the more porous part. Yeah, see, totally not grabbing. Oh, yeah. I mean, it is sticky. It's just not as strong of an adhesive. So there you have it, friends. Okay, I'm really impressed by We Are Makers, and I kind of only want to. Oh, I haven't even checked. But I kind of want to keep these separate just so that I know which ones will work with the setter and which ones won't. So just bear that in mind, because I think I just glanced the instructions and it said that, these are pretty standard sizes, and they are, but if the ones that you have are anything like the ones that I have, or if it's the exact same ones, you might find that it doesn't work quite as well because it does have to be a strong adhesive. See, it says compatible with most foam dots, but size-wise that might be true, but it needs to be strong in order to stay on the paper. Because here's what's happening, just so that you can see what's happening. When you push it down, there's actually a little grooves, and that's what's holding it in the setter. And so when you put it down to the paper, it needs to grab it firmly enough so that it can actually pull it off the liner and then, off of those ridges or through the ridges. And otherwise it's not gonna want to come off the setter, just like you saw. So interesting. That's pretty cool. I'm loving this though, and now more so love the fact that their foam dots are so strong. So that's awesome. Because if you're gonna do like one of those dancing cards, for example, you want something strong. You don't want it to fall off your card. So I'm really happy for that. All right, so that is a first look at the We Are Makers glue. I keep on wanting to call it a glue gun, but it's their glue squeeze and the We Are Makers dot setter. So I'm gonna continue to use these. You'll probably see them in my videos, and then when I swap out my 3D glue gel, like I said, I'll come back and do that one in real time, and we'll look at it together how well putting a more liquid glue in. But this was the very first thing I wanted to try. All right, friends, thanks so much, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.